Dr. Sheri here with our fifth and final installment of videos on evidence-based practices. And I might say that we kind of kept the best for last. Today we're going to talk about reinforcement. And I know that most of you are familiar with reinforcement if you are a parent of a student with autism spectrum disorder, or if you're the teacher or educator of such a student. We want to talk a little bit about maybe some novel ideas and kind of some how-tos. So how would you start with implementing reinforcement? Well, once again, first of all, you always want to start any of these evidence-based practices by collecting data on what's currently happening so that you know what are the behaviors that you perhaps want to use reinforcement to change, and so that you can analyze what might be the most effective type of reinforcement to use. Second of all, then you're going to decide what kind of reinforcement you want to use. So we're going to talk today about two main types of reinforcement. First is positive reinforcement, and then the second is a token economy. So first, positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement, of course, is something that we offer to a child after they have done something that is, after they've exhibited behavior that we want to see more of, that will encourage them to repeat that behavior more and more. So positive reinforcement is anything that will increase the likelihood of getting the same behavior. So a couple of ideas from the book Flip the Switch. One that we really love is a simple punch card. Now I'm sure that many of us have punch cards for our favorite coffee house, for our favorite shop, for our favorite miniature golf course. And the idea behind this reinforcement punch card is that we would identify what this child is working for, and then they would work up to that reward. So a lot of times with positive reinforcement, people say to us, you know, I don't want to be handing something over every single time my child does something that I want them to do. Well, we couldn't agree more. But what we do want to do is we want to use those times when they're behaving the way that we want them to behave as a teaching tool. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use a little hole punch. We could use a little stamp. We could initial it. We could put a star. But each time we see the behavior that we want to see more of, we are going to acknowledge that. Now this is where I think so many times people fall short on positive reinforcement. It's not just about saying, wow, good job. Oh, good job. You did it again. Good job. Great. Good girl. Good boy. Yay. Because what does that mean? How do I know what it is that you want to see more of? So what we want to do is we want to give specific verbal reinforcement. So I see my child being kind to someone else in the store by picking something up. I say, wow, I love how you were so kind by picking up that little girl's doll and handing it to her. Let's give you a check mark on your card. I see her get into the car without arguing with her brother. I say, wow, I love how you got into the car and just took your seat and you were not arguing with your brother. That's excellent. That's being very responsible and very respectful. So see how this works? What I want to do is each time I see the behavior that I want to see more of, not only am I going to say, here's a check mark or here's a box filled, I want to identify what it is that I saw. And that's what makes it really powerful. Another idea that I shared in one of our other videos is to use puzzle pieces like this. Very simple to make, just on cardstock, laminated with Velcro. And what you do is it could be a picture of a computer on here. It could be a picture of walking the dog, or a picture of watching a movie with the family. But what you're going to do is you're going to cut it into however many pieces make sense. Could be 8 pieces, could be 4 pieces, could be 2 pieces. And what's going to happen is that as the child exhibits those behaviors, they build the puzzle. The next one we're going to talk about is a token economy. And a token economy is similar to what you get if you're a member of one of those airport miles kind of schemes, or if you're part of hotels, um, you know, frequent hotel stay kind of schemes, where what you're doing is you're giving points for getting the kind of behavior that you want to see, or tokens, and then those tokens are then have some value. So much like the miles on your frequent flyer account, you get rewarded by getting miles when you fly with that company, and then you can use those miles. You can buy things with them. You can, you know, use them toward another airline ticket. So token economy works somewhat in that way. I've used stamp cards with stamps in different squares. I have used actual Monopoly money or other kind of game money. I have used a card where I just put check marks, and each check mark counted for 5 points, and then they need to be able to be spent somehow. And so if you're a teacher, you can have a kind of store. It doesn't have to be elaborate things. My students, when I was teaching middle school, used to love working for pencils and those little hole reinforcers. I don't know why they were such a hit, but they loved those. Paper, all of those kinds of things. If it's at home, then trading it in for time with mom or dad, or time doing a specific activity or a special treat. So the two things that we've talked about today, positive reinforcement and token economy systems. Once again, make sure that you're always telling your child or your student what it is specifically that they're doing correctly, so that they know what it is that they need to do the next time. For more information on reinforcement or other evidence-based practices that can help you with your child or your student who has executive function deficits, we recommend this book, Flip the Switch, Strengthen Executive Function Skills. It can be found on the AAPC website, that's the publisher, or on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of this five series long special on evidence-based practices. Please check back often on our Flip the Switch YouTube page, as we will have additional strategies for you to check out. Thank you, and have a great day.